Good evening, and it's Tuesday, February 9, 2016. Board of Selectmen is meeting tonight. It is now 7:03 by the town clock here in this room, and I'd like to call the meeting to order and invite everyone who's present to join us, as we always do at the outset of our meetings, with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have a relatively short agenda this evening. Right out of the gate, I want to invite any residents who might be with us tonight who have any matters they want to address with the board to raise their hand, and we'll tackle that. I don't see anyone, so we'll move to our next item in the new business category. As my colleagues are aware, and those who may have followed this from our meeting 2 meetings ago, we about a month ago conducted the annual performance appraisal for the town manager, and each of us offered our comments for the record. The evaluation is required by virtue of the contract that the Board of Selectmen has with the town manager. Unfortunately, on that evening, Selectman Kratman had an unanticipated emergency, so he had to leave the meeting and was not able to offer his commentary. I thought it appropriate, and my colleagues were gracious to support affording Mr. Kratman an opportunity tonight to offer his comments and submit to the Secretary for inclusion in the minutes, tonight's minutes, whatever commentary Mr. Kratman wants to offer. I know this is your first year as a selectman, so you've now had close to 12 months of experience in working with the town manager. So I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Kratman, and you can offer whatever commentary you wish relative to Mr. Montori's performance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for granting me extra time. I had to run out to an emergency that concerned public safety, so unfortunately I couldn't stay for that meeting. But I think it's very important that I can make mention of his performance evaluations, because I think the town manager is doing a wonderful job in the town of Tewksbury. I have a rating, and I did a performance evaluation on him. I think managerial skills. Richard's doing an excellent job. He's always well prepared. He updates the selectmen on issues concerning town matters. Budget. The budget's passed reasonably easy. The town departments are well prepared to serve the residents of Tewksbury. He's worked very hard with the unions during contract negotiations, which resulted in fair and equitable contracts for all. The town's bond rating is raised to AA+ based on adoption of integration of key financial management policies. Organizational skills. Mr. Montori is always professional, brings the board up to date on all matters regarding town interest, community relations. Once again, Mr. Montori's responded to requests for information and assistance. He's always willing to meet with any group when requested. On a weekly basis, I hear from residents on concerns facing our community, and Richard has always been extremely responsive to all calls and emails. We've had discussions on how the town can be run a little bit better with getting information out to the public, and we've been working on that. He's been updating his staff to promote more information, telling people about public meetings, and I think he's doing a wonderful job. So overall, I gave him a score of 5 across the board. I think you're doing a wonderful job, and I'm very happy that you're willing to work with the town, to stay with the town of Tewksbury.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kratman. And just to kind of refresh people's recollection, each of us made comment. We use a standard document that sets out the criteria to evaluate the town manager's performance on. And those comments will be in written form. Those who did put something in writing, as I saw Mr. Crowden did, we'll make that part of the minutes so that those commentaries are memorialized. And they play obviously into subsequent discussions that we as a board have relative to the town manager's goal setting and town manager's compensation, all part of the employment agreement that the board has negotiated with Mr. Montori. And it sounds from Mr. Kratman's comments that they're very similar to those that were stated by each of us as individual selectmen. And I think the night that the other four of us spoke, I made a statement that it's no coincidence that I think independently we each came up with similar thoughts and similar comments and points of note, because the evidence is pretty consistent in terms of how people are treated and what we see as stewards of the community here as we oversee what Mr. Montori does for us day to day. So in separating this out, Mr. Montori, I don't know if you're game for it, but it struck me that maybe what we could do next year is do like one review every 2 weeks. And then maybe if we really were up for it, we could do quarterly reviews.
I do want to.
You didn't negotiate that. So we could really we could make this last a little bit longer.
Viewership probably.
So yeah, that's right. So I know you're not. You've been busy the last 24 hours, Mr. Crabman, and I know you don't sound like you're on the top of your game tonight. So hopefully you're feeling better. But I want to thank you for preparing to do that and making sure that you did. I know it was important to you, and it's important to all of us as a board to kind of close that circle. And I know Mr. Montori takes all of our comments to heart, so it's good that he has it. Appreciate it. All right, so moving along, third item on our agenda, we have an election warrant that's been presented by our town clerk, Denise Graffio. I will read the warrant. The warrant pertains to, in the name of the Commonwealth, you're hereby required to notify and warn the inhabitants of the town of Tewksbury qualified to vote in elections to vote at precincts 1 and 1A located at the Senior Center, 2 and 2A at the Recreation Center, 3 and 3A at Town Hall, which is a change from the church on Route 133, now back to the Town Hall. Precincts 4 and 4A at the Public Library. And this pertains to an election on Tuesday, March 1st, 2016, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. for the following purpose: to cast votes in the presidential primary for the candidates of political parties for the following offices: presidential preference, state committee man, state committee woman, and town committee. And those pertain to, obviously, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the 2nd Essex and Middlesex District, and locally here, the town of Tewksbury. So we need to post this warrant to notify voting eligible residents of those locations and the date and times. I'd ask for a motion to adopt the warrant as presented.
I'll make a motion to adopt the election warrant as stated.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, and I'll just ask if you haven't, please execute the original copy and we'll circulate that to everyone on the board here. Next item on our agenda is a continued discussion relative to the Green Committee. At our last meeting, we reorganized the committee due to quorum issues and also some of the change in the focus of the committee and subsequent grants that we wish to pursue. So the collective thinking was that the town would be better served at this point if we had more internal staff and some who have more facility-focused expertise to serve on the Green Committee. So we've reorganized that. We left some spots on the committee for residents, and I know we asked the town manager a few weeks back to bring us a proposed roster of those who have served on the committee and wish to continue, or internal staff who we feel are appropriate. And I know we reached out to the school department as well for some of them from their facilities team as well. So I'll ask you if you have names or if you're prepared to move
For
forward.
board purposes, there are two names to represent the residents. We have Tom Cook, who served on the Green Committee as a representative. The Finance Committee would like to serve, and Loretta Ryan, who also served on the Green Committee previously as a resident, would like to also serve. So those are the two appointments.
And do you have the other positions rounded out, or?
Yeah, well, I know Kyle Boyd, who represents
Yeah.
one of the department heads. I don't have schooling yet.
Once you get a school designee, you'll be ready to operate.
I'm sure it's going to be John Marshall.
Yeah. Okay. And you, to your knowledge, you've had no other applicants besides these two existing?
No, but both of them have experience in
Yeah.
the DEP.
Terrific. Okay. Is there further discussion on that? So if not, let me ask, I'll take it in a slate and ask if there's a motion to appoint Tom Cook and Loretta Ryan as resident members of the Green Committee through the term ending June 30 of 2016. Second. Okay, motion was made by Mr. Penelitis, seconded by Mr. Gay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I will vote in the affirmative as well. That next brings us to the sole attachment in your agenda this evening. We have an invoice from Town Council Feely and Brown. The amount is $1,232.50 for the period of January 1st, 2016 through January 15, 2016. Do you have any comments to add to that, Mr. Montero?
Just recommend it.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the bill for payment?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye on that as well. That would be unanimous. I'll turn to Mr. Kratman. We have outstanding minutes from January 12, January 26, and most recently last week, February 3.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Minutes have been distributed for the January 12th regular executive session, the January 26th regular session, and I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Everyone's had a chance to review those? Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right. We have a motion made and seconded, offering for approval January 12 regular and executive session minutes and January 26 regular session. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye as well.
The minutes for the February 3rd regular and executive session were finalized prior to the meeting, and we plan to have them for the next week.
That was last week. That's the budget presentation and executive session. All right, so we'll put those on the agenda for the next meeting, which is on February 23, for those paying attention. That will bring us to board reports. Let me first ask Mr. Wentworth if you have comments, sir.
I just want to, you may have seen something in social media that I will not be pursuing a position on the Board of Selectmen moving forward, so I'll make that pretty clear right here. I figure that's something I should report. In terms of our committee meetings, we haven't had meetings since our last report, so I have nothing to
Mr. Gay?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Events and Celebration Committee is meeting tonight, actually downstairs. They're, even though I'm on that committee, I was not in the meeting tonight. But I'm not sure how to read it. But they're doing a recap of the Christmas tree lighting and holiday celebration we had here at the Common at Christmas time. And they're also talking about a spring event, possibly April and May. So after they come up with a decision minus me, they'll announce what the spring event is. So they will report next time. Though the Middlesex Council of Governments is not meeting until next Wednesday, so I haven't reported on that yet, but I will have one next meeting also. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Kratman, do you have any comments?
I do. The beautification committee met on February 1st. We appointed, or we created 2 new members, Audrey Kelly and Anderson Toll, so I wanted to thank them for joining the board. Unfortunately, we did have one resignation, and so we will be sending that to the town manager. So there will be an opening on the beautification committee. If anybody's interested in getting involved, we're going to be looking for more volunteers to help out. And spring is coming very shortly, so we're putting together some plans on doing a number of islands, beautifying the town. Excuse me. And we can use all the help we could. So anyone interested, please contact the town manager's office. Thank you.
Mr. Canales?
Just quickly, the EDC hasn't met since our last meeting. The Economic Development Committee, we meet again. We're looking like probably March 2nd or 9th. We're just sort of sorting out how best we can get all 11 members together. And the Town Center Master Plan Committee will be meeting next on March 1st. We haven't met again since our last meeting. And we will be winding down the final report from Cecil Group on the Town Center Master Plan. And then other than that, I was unable to attend the last couple of pipeline meetings, but there's been a fair bit of information made around both on social media and through email updates from the Midcountry group that we've given along to it. So I will bring updates next week.
Thank you. So the only item I have, Mr. Montori, is just, I know last Wednesday we were here, you presented your budget recommendation for fiscal 17. We sat through the presentation, and I believe, I think it was the next night, the Finance Committee was meeting and beginning the process. So do you have just any updates on the early stages of the budget? Any comments that we ought to be aware of?
No, I mean, the Finance Committee started their Thursday meetings that they'll be having from now until town meeting. So there is the start school vacation. Council meeting, House of Recreation. Meeting went well.